Hello, everyone. Um, my name is Rana. I'm one of the members of Rethink Anatolia in Turkey. And today, me and Aido are going to be representing an informative presentation regarding the catastrophic day that happened in 6th of February. So to start with what we will discuss today. First, we will discuss the death rate of the first 5 days, a day-by-day analysis of the earthquake, the response of each of the government, universities, NGOs, and the international aid. So the great disaster, it started on the 6th of February. 2 earthquakes hit the region. The first was on 4 a.m., which resulted in 2 death casualties of 912. The second was on 1 p.m., which resulted in 2,921. Those were only the first day casualties. By 7th February, it reached 5,800. By the 8th, it reached 9,000, and an exponential increase by the 9th reached 17,000, and by the 10th, we reached 19,000 deaths and 80,000 injuries. So we will talk about the events of each day, what happened on each day. So as you see, the video that's going to be shown was actually a live of one of the news on the second earthquake that occurred. So the first earthquake occurred at 4 a.m. and the second was at 1 p.m. So we can go on the second slide. Oh, okay, it's working. Okay, so we will move on. What's the details? So the first earthquake hit 2 cities. The main city was Kahramanmaraş at 7.7 magnitude, and the second is Gaziantep at 6 magnitude. It was at around the depth of 7 kilometers. It was followed by 78 aftershocks, including magnitude of 6.6 and 6.5 that struck the southeastern Gaziantep province. The second earthquake, which happened at 1 p.m., resulted to 105 aftershocks occurred, and 2,824 buildings collapsed because there were already some buildings that were affected by the first earthquake, but the second earthquake made them collapse. So the main cities that were affected by the earthquake was Malatya, Hatay, Urfa, Adıyaman, and Maraş. And they experienced severe damages on each of the infrastructures. The search and the rescue personnel were assigned at 9,600 were directly assigned to the region due to the great disaster. The second day, it was the first day that rescue started to happen immensely, but another disaster occurred. Due to a tremors caused by the earthquake in Iskenderun port, the substance inside the ships were mixed with chemicals, liquids, and caused a fire there. Most people that were affected by the earthquake complained that they were endangered and there was a lack of assistance. People faced with great difficulties in electricity, water, natural gas, and telecommunication. So the infrastructure of the cities in each of the electricity and water side was severely damaged, which has people had inaccess to such things. Telecommunication service was really hard to reach. So I tried to even reach one of my friends, but I wasn't able to connect to a normal call until the third day. The municipalities of cities such as Ankara, Izmir, Istanbul, of course, and Antalya, they started having deliver aids to the region. So there were calls on the social media accounts of those cities for volunteers to come to the main municipalities to collect the aids, for people to donate the things, and for volunteers to help ship those things to those cities. So the third day, it was the day that a lot of people were rescued under the rubbles. The fire in Iskenderun port was brought under control. Level 3 emergency warning had been issued by the WHO for the earthquake area. During search and rescue, a lot of the main resources like earth-moving vehicles were needed and insufficient. And by that time, a lot of the international rescue teams have reached Turkey in order to help in such a thing. And access to Twitter and TikTok was censored toward the evening hours, and that had a lot of damage. Because people who were under rubble, they used to connect to people through two platforms in order to say their address and where they are. Twitter, a lot of people that were under rubbles were sending tweets, was their address, or families send their tweets where their children or family's address in order to rescue them, and a FAT main application that you could send yourself. So censoring Twitter had big effect on such a thing. And at 1 a.m., it was announced that the state of emergency would be implemented for 3 months in the cities affected by the earthquake. And yesterday only, there was a presidential announcement that one of the reasons for this announcement is that because there was an increase in human trafficking in those earthquake areas due to the damage. The fourth day. So this is the day where the start of relocation and the start of people getting tents and living in tents to get relocated to other cities. The huge damage was actually calculated by one of the German researchers that said that the plate in which Turkey is located has moved 3 to 4 meters from its place. So the whole country moved 3 to 4 meters. And we will see in the next video one of the videos that shows how the floor of one of the cities was actually moved in meters. The fifth day, 10th of February. You'll go back a bit, yes. So at the fifth day, the World Bank has allocated a resource allocation of $780 million, and it has been announced that it would be transferred to relevant projects. And as you see in the video, this is the amount of damage that was caused on the floors itself. And the contractor of one of the residents, which was destroyed in Antakya, where was caught at the Istanbul airport, this contractor resulted to 1,000 families losing their life. And also in the morning, another contractor was caught before escaping to another country. Yet there was a positive side where one of the contractors was praised that he was the one responsible for building some buildings between 1997 till 2002. Those buildings were not destroyed at all, and they were able to stay still and save a lot of lives. So there is a bad side and also a bright side for such an incident, unfortunately. So how bad is this? The numbers says it all. 24,617 death situation until now. Just this was 1 hour ago before the presentation. Maybe now it has increased to 25,000. And in order to follow these numbers, we encourage you to follow the AFAD live numbers that's updated every day. Yet this is a catastrophic situation. It escalated from day 1, 900, and now we're talking after 6 days, 24,000 persons lost their life, and 80,000 are injured, and around now 150,000 are being relocated to other cities. It's such a devastating earthquake, I would say. For the next, I would leave it to my friend Eylul to complete regarding the geography of this and what is the reaction of different organizations.
Thank you, Rana. Thank you, all of the people who are in here now. Actually, as Rana mentioned before, we saw lots of numbers, and because of the injured and the explained the dead people, but sometimes numbers are not so effective to explain how the effect of this disaster. So As you see in there, that's the place of the earthquake. It's not included on the Turkey, but also you see that the Syria is affected this disaster. In there, as my friend mentioned before, that's a very big zone, and it's not the common earthquake type in the world. And you see that the kilometers and especially the 13 million people affected because of this disaster. But I want to inform you what's the meaning of this zone. I hope no one live this kind of disaster all around the world. But when we compare with the size of the affection is with the USA, for example, you can see that the effects from New York to Washington, and it's a very huge place, as you can imagine. And also, you can consider that having very little electricity, water in the 21st century, internet, and gas. And these are only material things for the needs, but as you know, in this kind of disaster, lots of people needs not only physical things, but also the mental and mental things. So you can consider that this kind of the material things is not enough in New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Washington, and Maryland. Because of that, it was so huge. Also, we can compare with the size of the effects in Europe. You can consider that from the Paris to Amsterdam of the affection, how the big is the earthquake destruction zone. And also, you can think about that all the buildings destroyed in Paris, Brussels, Rotterdam, and Amsterdam. So as you think about that, that's the huge place again, about to mention it. That's another example from Europe, the Southern Europe, and from Milan to Rome. It was a very big place also, and you can consider that having not enough to water, food survivors for the survivors, and in Milan, Bologna, Florence, and Rome. So yeah, we showed that the people are dead and also the injured. So these people have also have need this kind of the surviving things with the basic necessities, and also they lost their loved ones, their families, and even I felt this earthquake from my homeland. I felt so depressed, and I'm not alone. All the people in Turkey feel this trauma like theirs. So you can imagine what's the feeling of the disaster. So there's the last example from the UK. From Brighton to the Newcastle, you can imagine that. And as you know, in Italy and United Kingdom, the railway stations is so common, but you can consider about having roads, airports, train rails to London, to Cambridge, Birmingham, and Manchester are destroyed, and you cannot transport another city. I don't say the country, another country for another place. You cannot transport yourself. You cannot go to another city or another road. for example, in Hatay, you cannot go out another road. For example, at the same time, I want to give a little bit information about that. For example, from Maraş airport to the center of the Maraş, it got only 2 hours at mostly, and now you cannot reach out the center of the Maraş at 5 hours. You cannot go there. And also, you can imagine that I hope so no one lived this kind of disaster. But when you think about that, your loved ones, your family, if they are in there, and you try to reach out the city and you couldn't. And it's not only about destroying roads problem or the buildings. Also, in that place, we have lots of security problems. So because of that, actually, these kind of the material problems, physical problems, affect of the mentally things. That it affects all over day. And one of the professors from University of Tokyo, Masataka Kinoshita, said that earthquake is a reality of the world. Some kind of the countries affect mostly, but all around the world, earthquake and this kind of natural disaster is a reality. So, and one of the country is most affected by the earthquake is Japan. So this professor said that the main difference between Japan and Turkey were less loss of life was recorded despite being an earthquake country is the durability of the buildings. In Turkish, we have a very common usage sentences to describe the similar things. Especially lots of professors and engineers use it. Earthquake doesn't kill anyone. Wrong buildings kill everyone. So actually, in the meaning of these sentences, as Professor Kinoshita said that, try to describe the same thing. Earthquake is a reality, such as the lots of the natural disaster, but we should try to get the strong buildings, spread the education about this kind of things. So, firstly, before the continue, on behalf of all of my teammates and all of the people who live in Turkey, we are so appreciated to everyone's support all around the world. So we will discuss some slides in there, but we remind that everyone reminds us, especially we are the all parts of this goodness. So out of the ethnicities, out of the religious types, out of the every differences, we live in the same world. And I would like to thank you to all of the supporters from all around the world. Now I will continue with the government response. Unfortunately, in Turkey, we have very, how can I say that? Very common problem. It's about planning. The lack of the planning is a very common problem in our country. So, and with this disaster, we saw again what's the importance of the making plan and being prepared. So in government response, President Erdogan became inaccessible after he made a Twitter statement that confirms the earthquake in the first hit. The press briefing was issued only 20 hours later, and this time is so huge to save the people from this place. So, as Rana said before, Twitter has so common usage in Turkey, and the social media account is so popular in Turkey, and all of the people who damaged from the disaster tried to connect the people for saving their loved lives. So with the shutting down of the Twitter, lots of people couldn't reach save their loved ones, and unfortunately, lots of people didn't die because of the earthquake. They died because of the lack of the reaching out for the helps. And also the president who went to earthquake areas on the fourth day, very huge amount of the time, and it's lost. Announced that 10,000 Turkish lira would be given to the families damaged by the earthquake. And it means that if someone from Europe will watch us, it means that you try to run out from the natural huge disaster, and the government give you only 500 euros to surviving with the life's conditions, and also almost $500 when you try to regain your life. That's the government's helping. So as writing, in this period of the economic crisis, when the purchasing power of the Turkish lira weakened, it was noteworthy that such love aid was given to the families who lost their homes and suffered from the serious material damage. So also from yesterday, the government said that we will open the dormitories from the KYK. It means that Credit Dormitories Institute. This institute tried to control the dormitories and the funds for the students in Turkey. We will open for the temporary accommodation for earthquake victims, and education will continue online until summer. Lots of academics, students, and lots of people all around to Turkey try to discuss how the wrong decision in these days. In these days, lots of people try to reach out their loved ones who affected by the earthquake, and also try to how can I say that, stand with this kind of the wrong decision. So I will give you the comment because of this decision. So as you see, that's the video from the Boğaziçi. That's another university who tried to help the people who affected by the earthquake. Thankfully, we have universities and the universities not give the lesson on the classroom, but also give the lessons how the solidarity should be in these times. From the first day, many universities have started an intensive aid campaign by publishing a list of needs, publishing condolence messages, and have entered an active organization process by their students and staff. You saw lots of universities, and there are much more than these lists. And also, for example, I want to give an example. I learned today, Kadir Has University called all of the students who affected by the earthquake to help every kind of help to them, from mentally, physically, or whatever they want. So, as I said before, universities are so important institutions for all the countries, and from this disaster, all the people see that universities don't give only the lectures or some theories about the occupations. That's only and that's not only the role of the universities. Also, we saw that the lecture of the solidarity. Thankfully, we have non-governmental organizations also. I'm sure that you see the Ahbap's IBAN's numbers and the name of the Ahbap also. Lots of people shared their links because of that. And from the first day of the earthquake, all of the people observed that the NGOs have started working in a coordinated way rather than the government institutes. And Haluk Levent, everyone knows in Turkey him because he is a very good Turkish singer also. Started collecting aid donations and supplying food and clothing to the earthquake zones from the first day with the Ahbap organization that he founded. Ahbap was founded, as I remember that, 10 years ago. And from the first day until today, and I hope in the future, very good developing type aid campaigns is collected in this organization. And as you see, I think lots of people rely on them because it's very, it has so good and strong connections from all the cities in Turkey and lots of these. And also out of the Ahbap, for example, we saw the ihtiyaç haritası. It means that needs map. They found it. They found it in the same time with Ahbap, and there is also another good non-governmental organization. Also, similar donation coordination and assistance on a large scale came from Babala TV. Babala TV is a YouTube channel, and owner Oğuzhan Uğur is a very famous YouTuber in Turkey. So Ahbap, Babala TV, Needs Map, and lots Akut also try to being in coordinate for helping lots of people as much as they can do. And as I said first, international aids, we are so thankful for you because not only about physically, but we try to support and we try to being as strong for not for us, also for the people who damaged because of this natural disaster. And 71 countries sent help to Turkey in this time, in travel from all around the world, from Greece, Israel, Armenia, United States, Pakistan, Hindustan, India. I'm sorry, because of Hindustan mean in Turkish to describe the India. So the aids are in form of donations, supply aids, Navy ships, search and rescue specialists, health officers, and mechanical tech assistants. We try to write all of the countries in there, but we are so thankful for that. So why we are in here? As we said before, it's not only a informational meeting, it's also the donation type of the live stream. So from you or your someone who can help the people who damaged because of this earthquake, we tried to join the Turkish Philanthropy Fund, and it's a very reliable and valid non-profit organization. And we try to join them, and also try to getting more donations to spread the needs, not only physically but also the mentally. But don't worry about that. You can be sure, and also you can review from the links as we will share with you. Your contributions will go directly to the Turkish Philanthropy Fund, as a supervised non-profit organization at Disaster Floor Platform. It means that in Turkish, maybe you can see the Turkish name, Afet Platformu, located in Kahramanmaraş and neighboring towns to help the victims recover from the devastating effects of the earthquake and rebuild their efforts, rebuild the cities again, because in that place our cities are not in here, and now we try to collect the needs for the people, for the all the things in there. So that's the links for the donations. And also, if you cannot take the links, you can scan this code, and directly you can go out of the donation links. And also, we have links and any kind of the description in description box below. And also, our friends shared the message on the chat. You can click on that, and we can share our solidarity. Thank you so much. So we are open all the questions you want to try to learn more. We can reply you. So actually we have one question. Is Twitter still banned from Economics YouTube channel? Yes. Actually, lots of time. It can change time to time. In the first day, was blocked. The Twitter was blocked for 9.5 hours, as our friends informed you. And sometimes we couldn't reach, and sometimes we can reach without VPNs. So